how fucking happy you're gonna be with me.
Oh no.
It's gonna be great.
Oh,
right.
What'd you do? Don't tell me. Oh, I have a good idea. Just say it.
Alright, let's do this. Welcome back to the Weekly Weeb, everyone. I'm Hugo. This is my co-host.
I thought I was going to say that anyway. I'm Full Animix.
And today, it's Romance Week. And do you want to know why it's Romance Week?
Oh, no.
Okay. So
what'd you do?
We finished off in the last episode, you may remember I had been just started consuming Love is War. Now, I finished Love is War and veritably enjoyed it.
But season 1?
2, 3, and the movie that they made after it, I think.
Oh, you finished all of it?
Done. Yeah, it's all done. I finished that, by the evening after our last recording. So, I've been on binge time, everyone, alright? I have just zoned in, alright? I have become hyper-focused. Crunchyroll...
I've locked the fuck in.
Crunchyroll decided that because I had watched A Love is War, it might have some more recommendations for me.
Ooh.
So,
I'll tell you if they're
I've
good
gone
or not.
through a massive watch. I just want to say, first off, with Love is War, I really enjoyed it. It was a fucking awesome, 3 seasons. It's quality. Brilliant. Wish I had just watched it when it was coming out. I think the only thing I disliked about it was, at the end, you don't really know, what happens with the depressed side character Ishigami and his relationship status, and I'm kind of like that might be the only detail that I think was missed out, or at least if it was in it, I somehow blanked that detail. He confessed his loves. He said he gave a girl till March or May or something to make her decision because he was being stupid, thinking she was talking about when the cherry blossoms bloom or some shit like that. But
yeah, some fucking hidden meaning or some shit.
But
like
you
that.
know, we move. He never tied that up. I felt a little upset because honestly, of the entire show, he was my favorite character. I liked him the most. I just
wait, which one?
Ishigami, the clinically depressed side character.
Oh yeah.
I vibed him the entire time.
Top 10 anime side character. Let's be honest.
Oh, 100%. He is one of the best side characters ever created.
Everyone loves him, which is always really good.
Damn, that's how you know you've made such a good side character. It's not about whether we like the main characters or who we like more inside of it, but if that side character's done right, everyone will love him.
Yeah.
And fuck it, it was great. And like I said, my only complaint is just I wanted his happy ending more than I cared about anyone else's fucking happy ending. Honestly.
Well, because I now, after we did that episode, I now realize that I didn't watch season 1, but I watched season 2, 3, and the movie. Actually, I don't think I have watched the movie. Anyway, I really, really like season 2. I like it a lot. They are good. I like season 3 probably a little bit more. But that's just because everything kind of wrapped up really nicely, whereas season 2 was a bit more ambiguous. But I'm happy for you, man. You finally have consumed peak romance.
Well, I think to be fair, I ranked it 10 for season 3 and 9 for season 1 and 2 because I was like, nah, these are fucking quality. I was either in tears laughing or almost in tears crying because it was just emotions, and I was like, I can't process this shit. So Chuck Norris that tear back in, and let's carry on with life. But thanks to Love is War, the rabbit hole begins. After Love is War,
You watched Quintuplets, didn't you?
I watched something else before Quintuplets.
Aww.
I watched Tomo-chan is a Girl.
Oh, really? I didn't watch that. I watched the first episode, though.
Overall, really enjoyable little show, and kind of, I think when it kind of came to it, it was one of those where it felt a lot sweeter than things like Love is War, where it's much more on the funny and semi how to manipulate someone side of things. Like, this is on the she tries to be a girl a little bit, and it doesn't not benefit her, but it doesn't do fuck all for her, because the guy that she is into has been into her for the last 10 years. So it's like, what's it matter? So I would say it was quite a good show. I enjoyed it. It had a good bit of plot. The characters were all fun. I think, like, the thing is, I've seen like one clip of it, which is from the first episode when the main character, or the male lead, June, thinks Tomo-chan is a boy, and then realizes when seeing Tomo-chan wear a skirt that Tomo-chan is a girl. Oh my god, that's the title of the anime.
Oh my god, name drop.
I wonder how, like, honestly, I think since Love is War, though, nothing has had as good a narrator as Love is War. Like, I watch everything now and just want to hear his voice make sarcastic comments.
You cannot compare narrators in, like, Love is War. Love is War is, like, a product of what it is. You will not get, you will not get as good as a rom-com as Love is War. I think personally, it is the perfect rom-com. I do wish it was a lot more shorter. But I think there's an aspect where you can enjoy all of it, which I really appreciate. Whereas a lot of other romance shows, I don't think I enjoy it to its fullest, because it can be quite a drag.
I think if you're going on a binge of, like, romance for a week, there's shit that drags way more. And then there's some shit that actually gives you a real nice change of pace. For example, after Tomo-chan is girl, I watched HoriMiya.
Oh, really?
Both seasons. Really nice change in pace. Honestly, just like a romance anime. Like, it didn't really have all the other subtextual stuff that a lot of romance anime seems to come with, which was kind of nice. It was pleasant that it was just kind of direct romance anime. A bit of, like, I think, was it?
Yeah, that
it's
one.
got a bit of, like, the poly love thing or whatever you call it, but
I feel like that HoriMiya has a bit more of a realistic take on romance, whereas a lot of these shows are very rom-com.
HoriMiya is
so I feel like
situationship.
I feel like HoriMiya is it's almost a classical take on a rom-com anime. Like, it doesn't really do anything else that it needs to do. It is quite humorous sometimes, but I don't think it's the focus of the show. I think having good character relations is enough for HoriMiya, at least for season 1. I didn't watch season 2 because I'm not a basic bitch. Season 2 just didn't look that interesting to me. It was described as, like, filling in some stuff that weren't included in the show.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I kind of wish the whole show was like 24 episodes. And you didn't have to do a season 2.
To be honest, that was the thing. When watching season 2, I was sat there a bit like, why didn't you just make this a 2-season show and put these fucking episodes in? Like, it would have been fine.
Yeah, or even like a 2-core show.
Yeah,
or
like
something
anything.
like that.
Just you could have just put it all together in one nice long string.
There is a really big break in between season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So it might have not lived up to the expectation. Well, they probably exceeded expectations, and then they did this. So
yeah, and now no more HoriMiya.
I mean, I really like HoriMiya. I like it a lot. I think it's one of the better romance shows, like just romance shows. And I think all the other added themes in that show are very well used. So I really like HoriMiya.
I definitely enjoyed it. It was like I said, it was a nice kind of like change of pace to Love is War and Tomo-chan. Like, you had just this, like you said, it was just a very realistic, it's a situationship essentially that almost comes of it. And I think I kind of like the fact that there's nothing ridiculously spectacular about this main character, other than he's a bit of a pretty boy, which all main characters in anime apparently are for the most part.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, he's not even like a pretty boy at the start in a sense, because he just walks around looking like a fucking little emo and a fucking degenerate, and then cuts his hair like 5 episodes later. And let's be honest, of HoriMiya, the best character, it's Hori's dad.
No,
he
he's
is
not.
fucking definitely the best. Hori's father is
he's
everything
not.
I would want to be if I had a daughter. If I have a daughter, right, like
I guess
that's the dad
I guess
want
that's
to
a
be.
strange. I guess that's a strange thing for me. I don't think I have a favorite character in that show.
Oh,
There's a lot of good characters in that show, but there's none that really exceed as a character. I really like Tats boy, main tag, main swizzle.
Mr. Miyamura.
I really like Hori. I think Hori's a pretty alright character. All the side characters are also really good. That's kind of what I wanted. That's what I thought season 2 would be. I thought it would prioritize the side characters a lot more, because in like past a certain point in the like main anime, like we completely forget about them.
Yeah, and it is a bit sad because I actually quite like their story. Again, I have noticed that with a lot of these romance animes, fuck me, the side characters' romance stories are way more interesting.
Dude, low key, that is actually kind of true. Like they always have like these the boy and the girl protagonists. They always have a boy and a girl best friend, and then those two like subtly get together, and it's just like not part of the same story. I'm just like, I want to see this. Where's the fucking cover story of this? Like, what the fuck?
It's always fucking like, literally in HoriMiya, like the friends are probably the more interesting couple, because it's like, cool, well, Hori and Miyamura get along fantastic. Their arguments tend to come from a bit of miscommunication and Hori getting a bit upset, but like the other characters, like these side characters, she likes him, he's faking being her girlfriend but doing all the coupley things together all the time. Another girl likes him and she's kind of like, I don't want to tell her the truth but I don't like lying to her, and I'm like, fuck me, that's conflict I want to watch. Like, Jesus Christ. Give me more.
Stop coddling me, just give it to me.
Yeah, I want that raw romance, like fucking passion in that story there, alright? Like, Hori just likes the guy and doesn't like other girls flirting with him. Fair enough. I get that. That could be side character though. Like,
yeah.
Hugo.
I'm on your anime list right now. Why have you given my harem show a 6 out of 10?
Yeah, so I was about to move on to this. This is where I think you'll be a little bit pissed off with me.
You honestly think season 1 of Quintessential Quintuplets is on the same level as Sword Art Online season 2?
You're right. I probably enjoyed Sword Art Online more.
Tokyo Ghoul Route A.
Did I enjoy Gunga more than I enjoyed Quintessential Quintuplets? They are very close.
Okay, we are not just doing Gungale. You're doing the full 24 episodes of SAO2.
Yeah.
Run it down for me.
Look.
What happened?
What
happened?
It was kind of funny. I can imagine watching this show, honestly, if you're watching it on a week-by-week basis, like, it must have been a hard thing to watch, because, Jesus Christ, I think binging it is fine. I think if I had to watch that on a week-by-week basis, that would have killed me. It didn't resonate with me for some reason. Like, to be honest, of all of it, the thing that annoyed me the most, probably, of all of it, like, I'm going to be honest, we all have best girl, right? In every anime with multiple women, there's always a best girl. And I was upset
Yep.
with the girl he was with at the end, which kind of griped me a bit, because I was like, of all the characters, I get why, and I like the story for it, I guess, but like, look, I preferred the history buff. I much preferred.
Yeah.
I much preferred her as waifu material. And to be honest,
your favorite ice cream is also vanilla.
look, no, I just preferred her as
Let's go.
I just preferred her. And on top of that, I'm gonna say this, but that
Yeah, so does half the fan base.
good. Half the fan base is fucking right. The other half are delusional dickheads. So
No. Do not rope in Nino into this. I will fucking bash you. Alright?
look,
There are two winners. And then Yotsuba. There are two winners. It's Miku and Nino. You're either one. Alright? Both are respectable, okay? You're a Miku. I'm a Nino. Do not say the other half, because there is only...
Nino.
There is only...
There is no other half. There is only Nino.
There's also 3 other people with this one.
Who the fuck were they? Exactly. No one cares.
I know all their
I
names.
don't, and I recently watched it. Like,
So there's Ichika, Nino, Yotsuba, Miku, and Ichika. No.
I
said
think
Ichika
I know
first,
them
so it's-
by either introduction or fucking like character trait. That's about
That's
it
it,
for me.
Ichika, Nino, Miku, Yotsuba, and Itsuki.
If I'm
That's
right,
it.
Nino
Okay.
is the actress. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
So, like, yeah, no, I get that. I would.
Let it out.
I think
let it
honestly,
out.
if he had gotten with
Let it
her, I would have been just as happy. I think I would have preferred the end.
No.
But like, here's the thing, all right? Like, Yotsuba just wasn't the one, and it bothered me. And like,
Yeah, no. Like, did you not watch my video?
I haven't watched your video on it. Should I go watch your video on it?
You
Return to the podcast in 10 minutes.
One of the most popular videos on Quintessential Quintuplets, 300k views.
The only video made on Quintessential Quintuplets.
There's only 2 possible outcomes that I think the fan base would have been fine with. Miku or Nino. Ichika is a fucking dick. To be fair, she's not much of a dick after the second season. Like in the movie, she was really alright. She had a bit of a redemption arc. Or maybe that was in the end of season 2. Anyway. Yeah, she was there. Itsuki is just on another fucking planet, alright? She is completely disinterested in the main pro tag, which is fine. You know, she's doing her own thing. I wish she was in the story more and had a bit more of an arc, but that's fine. Yotsuba is the complete and utter wrong choice. Like, I have talked about this at length, and it was like made up half my video, my second video. But
Yotsuba was just pointless.
yeah, most of the fan base was not happy that Ranger with a ribbon won at the end of the day. But there's also other aspects that I really like about the ending. I like that we do get a bit of an epilogue. That's one thing that I really think a lot of harem shows don't do. They don't have an epilogue where we see like where they are after a time skip, because that is my fucking kryptonite. I will love anything that has a time skip if it's romance as well.
Time skips do make that romance a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Anyway, this isn't about me. I've said my just desserts about it. Let's move on to season 2 for you.
I think, to be fair, season 2 just felt like... It felt like a lot of season 1 again. To an extent.
But you gave it
like,
an 8.
But part of it was that it ended. So I think I just enjoy things that
No. Season 2 did not end. Season 2 did not end.
Didn't it?
Right.
It was more
No, it
enjoyable than the first season. I think part of that
Yeah.
is that you've got your character development out the way, and now we can just enjoy the show, which kind of gives it the advantage over season 1. I will be honest, one thing that griped me with season 2, I don't know what it was, but from like that first wedding shot where you just see outline, I was like, it's going to be that ginger bitch, isn't it? I was like, I just get that bad feeling it's going to be that ginger bitch stood right there. I'm like, I'm going to be annoyed by this. I don't know what it was that made me just go with it's going to be that fucking redhead, but it was that fucking redhead come the end, which the show could have gotten so much higher if it wasn't a fucking ginger to finish this off, but personal vendetta.
To be... Dude, you talking about the shit is giving me like nostalgia right now. Like, I'm going through the same mindset that you were going through. So look, I don't hate Yotsuba. Like, I didn't in my video, I didn't really get that across. Some people, well, not really too many people said that I was being a hater, as you could say. I didn't hate Yotsuba. I hated that she wasn't as much of a prevalent character as a lot of the others. Like, I feel like Nino, Miku, and Ichika get a really good amount of screen time in these shows. Itsuki is just there, not doing much. And then Yotsuba just comes out of nowhere and just fucking scores a goal. You know, fucking defense line is all the way up on the ground. The ball's already over their heads and she's just there. Like, somehow. Even the goalie's not even there or some shit like that. I don't know what fucking metaphor I'm doing. Anyway. Like, it's very, like...
undeserved.
A little bit out of nowhere. There's context. But the context isn't enough.
I'm gonna be honest.
It really isn't enough.
That whole fucking, like, he met one of the quintuplets storyline shit from when he was younger and all that. I think that probably just annoyed me more than anything as to his justification for Yotsuba, because I'm like, but what's it fucking matter that you met one girl once fucking 5-10 years ago, my guy? You got 5 bitches in front of you now, and you're picking the flattest of them all. Like, it makes no logical fucking sense. And
you know what doesn't make any logical sense? This is a harem show, and he didn't even get the harem. He could have.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he could have convinced them all to marry him.
Where's the harem ending? Well, there is talks that they're going to make, like, specials on, like, each quintuplet's own ending, which I don't think actually will happen. I want it to happen. I don't think it will. I personally believe that the author is fucking done with this franchise because a lot of people were very mad about his choices. Props to him. He did what he wanted.
Isn't the author for this the author for what's it called? Oshinoko? Or am I thinking of another one?
I don't know.
So I feel like the author. I feel like it was the author for Quintessential Quintuplets. I don't want to be held to that as my knowledge for manga is always a bit limited. But I feel like part of the reason you'll probably not see anything from it is because I feel like it's the whole thing of they're busy dealing with a much more lucrative franchise at the moment that requires more attention. It's Oshinoko and it's coming this summer. It's going to be fucking awesome.
Summer of so and so time, be there or be squared.
But yeah, no. With Quintessential Quintuplets though,
oh my gosh!
Are you just looking through the list? Are you ruining the surprises of all the shit I've watched?
Oh wait, no, this voice acting rolls. Wait. Wait, stop. Wait, hold up. I'm finding something.
What are you looking at that you?
This might be insane. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm connecting dots.
I'm so worried.
Oh my gosh. Alright. So he might have done Oshinoko. I don't think it is. I think Lover's War is the person that does Oshinoko.
That might be it.
Yep. But did you know, alright, I have evidential proof of my anime list. that the guy who did Quintessential Quintuplets is also the author of Go-Go Loser Ranger.
Well, yeah, nah, fuck doing anything for Quintessential Quintuplets. Much better show. Much better show. Much better show going on right now. Go-Go Loser Ranger is fucking awesome, okay. Right? Like, there's no... Don't waste your time with the fucking romance. This shit needs more.
Let's be fucking real right here. He makes one of the best fucking harem shows out there, and he just decides to be a basic bitch and take every single fucking trope and put it into a TV show.
He's my hero. It's the true hero we need.
But yeah, Quintuplets. Like, in terms of harem shows, I do think it is the best. I don't like the way it ends. Like, in terms of, like, who ends up with it. But I think it's a good all-round show if you consume everything. It's not that long, either.
Oh, yeah, no, like I think it took me a day.
What's the first season? Is the first season still 12 episodes?
12 episodes. I think it's
so you're watching 24 episodes.
A 2-hour movie.
24 episodes in a movie.
Honestly,
and
the
you
movie
get an ending and stuff. The movie sucked.
The movie...
I fucking hated the movie.
Yeah, the movie wasn't... Well, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. It was enjoyable.
It's rushed.
But, yeah.
It is so hard. It is so difficult for manga-based stories to be translated into movies because it just straight up doesn't work. They condense down a season-worthy, like, ending or, like, arc or whatever, and then compress it into 4 episodes. Because that's basically what it is. Well, how long is the movie? Like an hour and a half?
No, I think if I'm remembering correctly, Quintessential Quintuplets is a 2-hour 16.
215.
Yeah.
So 2 hours and 16, that's almost 5 episodes.
So it gets like half a season, which is better than most. That's 2 extra episodes.
But that's still not good enough. I would have preferred... This is why I sent my video, by the way, and go watch it. I would have preferred if it was just a 3rd season. No one would have a problem with that. No one would have a problem that you are stretching out... Because imagine this. Imagine having time with our characters with their own internal conflicts. And then just making a movie, compressing that all down into 2 hours.
Yeah, but I like 2 hours.
It just really does not work. I really don't like it.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
I would have 100%... Also, a movie is technically cheaper to make. From a certain point of view. But there's also a bit more of a higher production value because it goes into cinema. You're going to need that higher quality stuff. Which I don't think you need.
No, especially for romance. I truly like you don't need to go that far.
I truly believe people wouldn't be happy anyways because they have to adapt through the source material. But I think there is a bit more of a better way to cohesively tell us the information without it feeling rushed. Because we are told who Futuro likes halfway through the movie. Oh no! Wait, is it halfway through?
I think about halfway, like, or is it like of the way? Something. You.
I think it's a bit over. I think it's a bit before halfway.
Yeah, like you get told pretty early on in the runtime, realistically.
Yeah, so it's very rushed, and the pacing is like all over the place, and I really, I've said all this shit before, but. I really don't like the movie. I like the whole series. I think it's very good. There isn't a lot of other harem shows that are as good as this because most of them are fucking shit. But yeah, I think I accept Quintuplets of what it is.
It's a show you can watch.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it is very difficult to find. It is very difficult to find a better harem show, but sooner or later we will have a better harem show, and it's not a will. It's not an if, it's a will, because there is a show that we are watching that is going to turn into a harem
eventually, yeah, we're gonna be watching harem. At
Yeah.
some point, someone's gonna spill
Spoilers.
some harem in my adventure fantasy.
I'm waiting for that spill, man. Next season, man, that's gonna fucking drench all over us. I'm like,
next season,
yeah.
honestly, could be next fucking episode, but
we're
we'll get
the-
onto that in a bit.
Anyway, what other
Romances
shitty
have I-
rom-coms are you watching?
So after Quintessential Quintuplets, I watched a show called Gamers. It's one season.
Oh no.
The first episode of Gamers is actually
I fucking hate that show.
really funny, in my opinion. I loved it. I
fucking
love the
hate
fact
it.
that like the introduction
I
to all
hate it.
these characters in the first episode is like, meet this guy. He used to do like fucking what's it called, like killing fucking hitman work or something, and now he's just an FPS gamer in high school. This guy here who's like fucking trying to get her friend back from the dark sides of a crime syndicate by beating her in a fight, who's also a fight console gamer. And it's like, and then the new kid, who this honestly might be my favorite character in the whole show, is one of the new kids they tried to get to join the game, the gamers club, called Yuki, who's like, no, he's like, oh, I haven't got an interesting backstory, and then says, no, I just randomly came to naked in an arcade one day playing puzzle games. So I know that's something that will help me figure out my backstory. I watched the whole show. Those characters are not in it again, essentially, for 10 episodes. They are very rarely seen, because they are unimportant to this story. They were just introduced for some reason. And then episode 12 starts off, and Yuki's back narrating the intro, talking about his backstory of trying to find out who he is a bit more, and it was funny as fuck. It was a really funny show. Like,
Are you watching a different show to me? You just described something completely not of what I watched.
Gamers?
to be fair, it has been a while since I watched Gamers.
If you're thinking about the high school gamer club that the main character refuses to join and therefore makes like the prettiest, most popular girl in school fall in love with him, then yeah, we're thinking of the same show.
Yeah.
It was quite a good show for the fact that, like, honestly, again, with a romance, it's the side characters, the two side characters in it who are like manipulating these other two and misreading the entire situation, constantly being like, oh my god, is my girlfriend cheating on me? Oh my god, is my boyfriend cheating on me? When a simple conversation would fix it all, is what made the show quite funny.
Yeah, just I really don't like talking about Gamers because it has I really just don't like the dude.
What, the main character? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Like I said, I'm in it for the side characters.
I really just cannot fucking stand the guy. He is the next. He is. I've had my fair share of harem oblivious main pro tags. This fucking man, I feel like he's oblivious on purpose. Like, it's really fucking annoying. Like, you know what? He doesn't want to join the club. Fuck it. You know, that's fine. He wants to do his own thing. Fair enough. You know, Miles Morales. But then it's just the fucking over-insert of miscommunication. This whole fucking TV series, well, this whole fucking, anyway, this whole thing feels like miscommunication, the anime. It is so
Honestly,
fucking tedious
half
sometimes.
fucking rom-coms that I seem to have consumed feel like miscommunication. The fucking
Yeah,
anime,
but
like,
at least it's cutesy stuff, you know?
I don't
That's
know.
stuff
I like,
you can
I
get
like
behind.
that.
This,
I like that.
they're just talking about fucking
I
random
like
shit.
that gamer shit, you know.
I fucking don't like. Yeah, and then the fucking ending, man. I hate this fucking ending of this show. It's so fucking
Yeah,
bad.
no. So this show,
he
fucking,
he actually just says that he likes her and then she agrees, but then he just straight up says, "Oh wait, I said that wrong." I'm like, what the fuck were you supposed to say? Like, what the
Mate,
hell?
the worst part of the entire, like, the worst thing about its ending is actually just how abruptly the entire thing ends. Which is like, they're at, like, I can't remember if it's a fucking beach day. They're on, like, vacation. They're staying in a fucking, the same room as everyone. And, like, I think he was like, oh yeah, let's play this really old school game I'm really interested in playing. And literally it's like everyone lies down and just says, right, well, let's go to bed. Got to get up early in the morning. And then that's it. That's the end of the episode. And you're like, wait, hang on. So did they get together? Is everything...
We don't know. There's no
like,
clarification.
yeah, it's just boom. To be fair,
You're bumping that down to a 7. I think.
to be fair, I would like to defend why it is what it is, and I'd like to say that there is a really good reason for it.
Yeah.
Brittany Kowalski is the voice of Karen Tendo, the female like lead of the show, and it was really nice. Okay, in dub, and it was really nice. Okay, to hear Rimaru's voice and not be fucking disappointed this season. All right? Do you know how nice it was?
All you had to do was say Rimaru's voice, and I instantly knew how she sounds.
All right? It was really nice.
She has such an iconic
to hear Rimaru
voice.
not let me down for a fucking day. I just had a nice day of Rimaru voice acting and no disappointment that was sat at a table. And at least when these fuckers sat at a table, it was for gaming, all right? I relate, I get it, I like it. I like it a lot. But honestly, I was watching it like, slime. If only you could be more fun right now. So...
Did you know she's also Itsuki in Quintuplets?
Yeah. I had a look through her IMDb whilst I was watching it. So...
Why isn't it not popping up as a Rimaru? It's talking about Shuna from Slime.
Don't know. But
Am I just on the wrong girl?
But
My eye.
Good show, regardless. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun.
It's not a good show. Anyway, let's move on. What else did you watch? No, we're not getting into it. We're not getting into it.
Look, I want to end on. I just want to end on this. All right. Let me just say this little bit of my piece. All right. I think if you haven't watched it, just give it a watch. You'll never watch this show again. But the one time watch, it's not a bad 3 hours spent. So binges, fucking eat. I followed Gamers Up though with
3 hours wasted.
I followed you want to talk 3 hours wasted but still well loved. I then decided to follow up my gamers with convenience store boyfriends.
Convenience store.
Now this
boyfriends.
is an anime from like 2011. It was just part of the many recommended romances that started coming my way. It is a show about like these fucking two lads, best friends, like childhood friends at high school. We barely see them at high school. It is literally all focused predominantly around the convenience store just down the road from their high school. Like one of them has a crush on one girl, one of them has a crush on the other girl. It's just they bump into each other at the convenience store and like that's where they go to meet. It's kind of cutesy, like nothing amazing. Like there isn't any other real story to it more than literally it's just predominantly girls bumping into the guys they like and guys bumping into the girls they like.
Straight up have not watched this show. Straight up have not watched this show.
I will be honest, you don't need to. Like, I watched it because I had the time to kill, so I thought, why not? But it is not so good that I think people need to watch it. But if you do kind of just want to watch romance anime, and it's not like it's got beautiful animation. We're talking this is like a 13-year-old fucking anime, and it's
no, it's not.
How old is this anime? It's 2012, isn't it?
It's 7 years old.
As old as I thought it was. What year this time? Oh.
Yeah, it came out in 2017.
Oh shit! I thought this one was like 2011.
I said 7 years old, and I felt like fucking.
Yeah, no,
myself.
that did cut deep a bit, but
I'm like, sorry, excuse me, what?
That wasn't 7 years ago, but it
was 4.
It was. I think it was the only one with like a less predictable story. Like, I felt like you weren't predicting what was going to be happening as much. Like, you could see some things, like the best friend of like, essentially, I'm going to class him as the main character, because I think he is, but it was hard to tell. We spend a fairly equal amount of time with everyone. But, like, you can see that he's not picking on this girl or any shit like that. He's trying to romance her in his socially awkward way, I guess, of just saying, like, he thinks that she's cute and just being like, oh, hey, class rep and shit like that all the time. Like, and there are scenes where it's like, it shows, it borders on fucking harassment. The girl fucking has breakdowns and shit. So, decent enough show. Like, I can't even remember all of it off the top of my head. So much romance has just blurred into one. Like, it's not a standout romance anime, but it is a decent enough romance anime. Like, you know what I mean? Just nothing special. Give it a watch if you got the time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, since you haven't watched it, you're not going to be able to critique it very much. But I don't know if you've watched this one. Don't toy with me, Miss Nagartoro.
Oh, of course I've watched this.
So I watched all of it, all 3 seasons.
Yeah. Is that 3 seasons?
Yeah, 3 seasons. Oh no, 3 seasons.
You want to fact
2
check
seasons?
that?
Yeah, 2 seasons of that one. Jesus Christ. It's a lot of, like I said, man, I've
Yeah,
consumed a
it's
lot.
giving me a fucking heart
Thinking
attack.
there was
Jesus
a third
Christ, I'm
season.
like, did they release it without telling me?
I mean,
Have you not finished the
no, I
second
finished
one?
the second one.
You didn't rate it.
Mother of God. I was going to give it an 8. No, not an 8, a 7.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So it's isekai with my smartphone level.
Annoyingly, Isekai on my smartphone was really enjoyable. I think it, like, for me, I think it was like the last 3 episodes or something of the second season just put me off of probably ever wanting to go back to watching it.
I know, right? That second season was fucking wild.
But Don't Toy With Me...
I miss it when it was a bit more contemporary.
But Don't Toy With Me was... I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think I was kind of into it from the first episode, in the first, like, 5 minutes.
I'm surprised you were into it from the first episode. It did not seem like your type of thing from that first episode.
Honestly, one of the things that just made me be like, "Do you know what, I'm going to carry on watching this," was because they kept referencing, like, in-universe manga, and they quite often would use the manga two-piece, and I was like, I'm so glad that you're like, two-piece, the absolute masterpiece of our fucking time. So
it is a real book.
it was definitely like, I was there like, I'm just gonna watch this because it keeps having to use two-piece as the only fucking manga apparently in universe. So fine, fuck it, whatever. I think I did look afterwards, being like, is a season 3 on the horizon for us or anything like that?
I would assume so.
Well, yeah, I think it's been about a year since the last episode came out, but from what I saw, the manga's due to end in July of this year, so
yeah, it is.
We've
really
got
close.
a solid chance that it could be turned into a 3rd season, and I hope it is. It was enjoyable. It was sweet. Like, I can see why, popularity wise, on like my anime list, it is where it is, because like it was a good show. I think ranking wise it's in like the 1900s, and then
for the first one, or
I think it's first or second. Might be the second season's like.
When you say popularity, do you mean like ranked on now, or just straight up popularity?
I think it's just the straight up popularity on Mal, like the popularity score.
235.
Is that how high it is? Jesus.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, it's a good show. Like, I see why it's up there. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. I would honestly kind of watch it again. Like, something about it very enjoyable.
I've thought about watching it again.
I think you should, man.
And then I stopped.
It's a good idea.
But Yeah, I like Nagatoro. I think there was a bit of a consensus about it before watching it, which kind of made me go like, shy. This guy did some hentai in the past, and now he's trying to do this. But it was quite a surprise because yeah, some people did not like the first episode of this show because straight up bullying, and the manga basically almost got boycotted because a rough Japanese translation of it is "Don't bully me, Miss Nagatoro." But then it will switch to "Don't tease me." I think that's what it is now. Yeah, like it was probably my most surprising rom-com that I liked because it straight up does not feel like a type of rom-com that I would like, but I really fuck with their dynamic. I really like it.
Yeah, it's
I like
fun.
a girl who's so extroverted but still has her own insecurities about some stuff and gets embarrassed about some things but tries not to show it. You know, that's just fucking small
Sweet.
shit that I need. I need a
Sweet,
girl
you
that
know?
gets embarrassed for being too forward.
Oh god, yeah.
That's
a girl
it.
who is super forward and then gets embarrassed at just how aggressively forward she is.
Yeah, it's why I like Dress Up Darling
And
a
to
lot.
be fair, like I
Like-
like of the character itself. Like I like the fact that essentially for her, it's like any excuse to get him to draw her is a good excuse, and she always loves it and stuff like that. And to be fair, it felt interesting to watch something that was about art more than anything. Like it's just about a guy who's really into art, and I'm not watching many things that discuss art in my day-to-day life. So to watch an anime that's like half of it is just a kid who's like, no, I just want to fucking draw. Like, let me draw the panda bear. It was very nice to not have. I enjoy the animes, the romance animes sometimes that just don't have much in the way of anything ridiculous going on, like no superpowers or any dumb shit like that. Just no, this is just a normal school life, and the only real thing is that the female lead is extroverted and male lead is a bit of a pussy, because we all love a fucking pussy male lead.
a bit.
Only a smidgen, you know. I wouldn't call him a full-blown puff, but
it's a lot.
he's fucking
It's a lot.
a bit of a pussy. Like,
A bit of a bitch.
some might call
as
him
you
a
could say.
beta cuck, but you know.
Yeah, I'm like our Sigma. Anyway, yeah, I really want a season 3 of this. It's a very unique show, which I really like. I think it could have gone a little bit more like cookie cutter at some points, but I'm glad that it didn't. I really like it.
Yeah.
Did you watch any other romance shows?
So what was it then? I think I went on and watched You Thought There Was Never a Girl Online.
Oh,
Yep,
no.
watched all of that. Kind of mid. Like, funny,
Yep.
cute, I guess, but compared to the others, nothing special about it. One of those...
It is quite
yeah,
mid.
like, to be honest, like a lot of them, one of the side characters was the main reason I think I could even carry on watching for this. It was like the vice president was honestly like half the reason I carried on watching this show. She was just funny, so I was like, fuck it.
Sundari.
She funny. Like, I like the fact that for once you're watching it and it's like all these pretty girls and not a single one is remotely close to that extroverted level that they need to be, essentially. So like they constantly be like, no, you don't want that fucking normie lifestyle, you need that gaming lifestyle, you know? Like, who cares if I've got triple G's and I'm the school president? I'm gonna waste 9 hours a day playing video games. Why not? And they're playing fucking RuneScape. They're literally playing RuneScape as well. Like, what the fuck?
Fair
Of all
enough.
the online games they were like, we're going to play, it looks like RuneScape. It feels like RuneScape. I think they were just playing RuneScape. I think someone got very clever and realised that they can make RuneScape tax deductible so long as they said it was for their manga. Research for manga. But yeah, so watch that. Like I said,
man.
it was nothing standout, nothing really much I could talk about on it. I just watched it. I think I gave it like a 6 or a 5. Like one of those. It's average. It's fine. Like
6.
Wouldn't watch again. I did.
6 out of 10 would not watch again.
I did watch. It's not technically a romance, I don't think, but I would argue romantic subtext at least, which was I watched it yesterday. Anohana, the flowers that we saw that day.
Oh no. Great, you've now caught up on generic romance anime. Congratulations.
I really liked it. I really liked it. I think bit of a tearjerker. I think very very well executed as a as a show. Like I can't remember how old this one is. I think this one might be quite an old show.
This is a 2011
so this one's
show.
2011, and like I think if you haven't watched it, you fucking should watch it. It is a great show. Like,
I mean, it's a very popular show as well.
Yeah.
Like this was. I think this was the original. I was about to say something completely outlandish there. This is like the this was a very 2010 tearjerker. I think this was one that kind of. I think this was like the last good tearjerker that I did watch. Like it's very emotional. The characters are very good. Some of the themes I felt like were a bit but I did really like this show. I don't like it as much as a lot of people do. I would probably give it maybe an 8, personally. I don't think... Because we know it's a tearjerker. You know, it's not... It's sometimes it feels like it's not that sad sometimes, but it still is, because what did happen was really messed up and was quite sad. And then the ending was really sad as well, but it just feels really manufactured sometimes when I think about it, because I've watched this movie like 3-4 times. TV show. I've watched it 3 or 4 times, and every single time I still get really emotional, but I don't get as emotional as some people do.
I think if I rewatched it, it probably wouldn't hit the same again. I think going in knowledge.
I think if you rewatch it, you'll still get like emotional, but you wouldn't be as emotional as you would think you'd be.
Well, I think like to be honest, the point that really kind of made me fucking want to just bawl my eyes out was what's his name? Popo? Was his fucking like mental breakdown, where he explains that like he actually saw her float away and shit like that, and it's like that entire thing where he has his breakdown, like the only character of the whole show who is almost just doing it because he wants to believe it and just kind of wants to be a part of what may be going on, even though he isn't sure. And then like all of a sudden you get he's very much into it, he believes it, and then he just drops this huge bombshell. Like all these other kids have felt guilt, and it's like, but he has never fucking once said to them, yeah, no, I probably feel more guilt than anyone, because fuck, I saw it, I could have fucking stopped it maybe, but I just ran. And it's like that fucking whole scene, that breakdown in front of them all, just that cut, I was like, oh my fuck, I want to cry for this man. He's a cartoon character and I want to bawl my eyes out for him. I was like, that is repressed trauma.
It's still... Yeah, it has very dark themes that a lot of people can appreciate. This to me, I'm gonna say something that I feel like so many people are gonna fucking hate me for. This is basically a shorter version of Clanad. You get very similar feelings. You don't get you don't get the exact same 1-to-1 story and stuff. You're never gonna get that. But in terms of like themes, how you feel at the very end, characters, everything like that, it's very similar. But I just put Clanad on such a fucking high pedestal when I talk about drama anime and stuff like that. This one's a little bit more on the supernatural side, which I do appreciate. But I think if you really want a short story, that's also a very good tearjerker, this is probably your best one that you're gonna get. And I feel like people should give it a watch, but I feel like people shouldn't rate it as highly as some people do. I personally don't think it's a 10 out of 10 show. But I know that you've put it as a 10 out of 10.
I've said before, like, one of those things where, like, the want to shed a tear for me is always something that makes me really like a show. Because I'm like, I don't watch many things that make me want to cry. So if I watch something that makes me want to cry, I'm like, oh shit, that fucking did something to the human bit of me I've not seen in a while, kind of thing, you know? So, yeah. Like, that's why. And to be fair, like, it's one of those where, like I said, I think I probably wouldn't have put it at a 10 as easily if you didn't have those breakdown scenes, like, those real dark fucking moments. And, like, because that shit, more than anything, I was like, that's just so much better. And like I said, I'd argue it's a romance anime, to some extent, even if
some extent it is, some extent
yeah,
it's
like
not.
Like I said, I think it would be easier argued it's romantic subtext for the main lot of it. Like, we get confessions of love at one point, like you do in all romance animes, but it's a bit rougher than the typical ooh, I love you. So,
yeah,
like I said that.
Yeah, I think it's a different take on like romance stuff, because even though it's technically not a romance anime, it is in some other aspects. If people want to call it a romance anime, fine by me, but I don't personally think it is. I feel like it's a really good supernatural drama show.
Yeah. I think I mainly think of it a bit as a romance anime because it came up under like Polylove or some shit like that as like one of the recommended things. So I was like, fuck it, click on it. And then it was Dead Girl. And I was like, what kind of fucking Polylove shit is this? You're trying to fuck a 10-year-old child ghost? It's weird. And then it at least gave you some story. And I was like,
that is very weird.
So, not a 10-year-old. But you'll be happy to hear this. Technically, I think this is the last romance that I have watched this week. And...
oh, thank God.
And... I watched it all this morning. So... have you seen Love After World Domination?
Yes.
I really liked it. I don't know what the fuck it is about Power Ranger related things, but fuck, I love a good Power Ranger trope as well.
I saw that on your list, and I'm just going like, where do you watch this? what is this doing here?
It was just there.
Do not even fucking ask how I watched that show, because it was one of the very few shows that I did watch all the way back when it came out.
It's good. It's good.
Don't tell me it's under the fucking Japanese title. Fuck my life.
Possibly. Yeah, it'll be under like Koiwa Senkai.
Yeah, some fucking dumb shit like that. Oh, there it is.
It is.
Koiwa Senkai. Fucking shit. Just fucking do it in English, man. Yeah. So this came out in 2022. So this is 2 years old now. Yeah, just don't ask, because I don't know why. if we go, let's go to spring 2022. All right, this is when it came out. Banger season, by the way. Just want to straight out say that. Out of the floodgates, we get the first season of Spy Family. Season 3 of Lovers War. Season 2 of Shield Hero. Summertime Rendering. Komi-san Season 2. Well, that show was also really good. Your Boy Coming. I mean, fucking goated. Date Alive 4. And then all the way down here is just little old Love Domination. Yeah. I watched a fuck ton this season.
Love Domination is just... It was very entertaining to watch.
It's fucking poppers.
It is surprisingly, I think I clicked on it thinking it
was
going to be kind of mid.
Is it the best? Is it the best? No, it's not the best romance anime. That's stupid.
I would happily argue it deserves a top 10 spot as maybe one of the top 10 romance animes I've watched.
Dude, this shit. It's the best. All right, let's do this. All right, let's put a fucking title on this. It's the best enemies to lovers.
Yes.
Yes, we'll do that.
Yes, bang on. Yes, it is so good at it as well, and like,
it's such a good show.
I'm honestly upset there's not another season of this because
I know it's really undermined.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. I saw.
So
like
good.
I've got it up. So like I see its rank is fucking. It's 2,206. Like it deserves more than that. It deserves to be much higher than that.
Good.
This show is so fucking good.
The fucking main girl, man. She's something else. Let's just say.
She's some lines that just.
I've never seen such a wholesome couple in such a fuck situation. It's such a good juxtaposition. Like they're just enemies, but they're fucking, and it's so good.
I think like there are things like when the Pink Ranger finds out that like he's dating the enemy, and it's like the sweet moment where she kind of wants to do him in because she's like, well, I like him, but at the same time she's like, but I can't because his happiness matters, and that's how much I like him and shit like that. You're like, that's sweet. Or when they battle at a fucking the theme park so that they can go and ride on the roller coasters whilst their fucking teammates are. I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
it's
that
like
shit was
so good that
hilarious.
like you tune in and you see this battle, and it's like this establishing shot almost always. These people like fucking fighting like these monsters, and then you just pan over a little bit, and you find this nice sunny. Grassy area that they're just sat on. We're doing
presentations today, and all I can think about when you said that Ferris wheel thing, I'm just thinking like, the song "Do You Believe in Magic," like just playing in the background, and then there's just like Power Rangers fighting in the background, and then it just cuts back to them just having a good time.
Well, what is it? They're on like, I think they're on a Ferris wheel or something at one point, and literally like she just looks out to the left and goes with, "Oh, looks like your guys won," and they just carry on with their date for a minute, and you're like, it is one of those where it's like, I love it.
Should we get back to it?
Because you're introduced to, every time someone seems to come around the corner, they immediately like, it's the whole like, do you want to hold my hand thing from like the very first episode, and she's like, I don't know, and then the second that the Blue Ranger like pops his head up over a cliff, they lock hands in combat, and like, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you kind of thing, and you're like, it's just dumb shit like that.
It's a really creative show. It's a really creative show. Like, it almost seems really basic at some aspects, like just heroes, and then the hero falls in love with the girl, and then the girl's a bit hesitant but goes along with it anyways. But this is a very good rom-com.
And it doesn't, I don't think, like, it doesn't do any of the more typical rom-com-y things. Like, their happily ever after doesn't come at the end of a war. Their happily ever after continues with the war.
Yeah,
Like, she doesn't switch sides.
Because it's not even like a happily ever after or anything. It's very basic when it comes to rom-coms. Like, there's a bit of discord in the middle and stuff. Like, discourse. I mean, like, you know, she goes like, "Oh, this isn't a good idea," but then he convinces her because he's such a fucking romance protagonist. Sometimes it actually kind of annoys me.
I mean, he's teaching me how I should talk.
But
to
he's
my partner.
he's a very rom-com protagonist. I've seen his character so many fucking times. Yeah,
They're just one in the same.
it's just the fucking.
I mean, like, what was it? It's when she's like, oh, "I'm gonna be turned into a gorilla monster," and he's like, "Well, you'll be the prettiest gorilla around," and you're like, "God damn, man."
Why is this guy simping so
backed
hard?
up? Like, just give her your money and ask for the OnlyFans at this point. Jesus.
This would be a very good doujin. Anyway,
But I think with that was the last romance I watched.
Aww.
Technically, I watched Spice and Wolf, which is also a romance, but
no one gives a
no
fuck.
one's calling it.
We're here on nostalgia. We're on a nostalgia trip.
Wait, we could have nostalgia. There's an older version of Spice and Wolf. I could have watched that. I didn't, but I could have.
Yeah, you could have just talked about that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm looking at spring 2022, man. I
To
want to
be
go
fair,
back.
I was thinking this whilst watching like some of the older shows.
Even Winter's really
looking
good.
Through some of the previous seasons, and I do want to say, this season feels like a bit of a letdown season. And like, I'm not saying we haven't got good shows.
I think our expectations of anime are just too high.
I think that this is part of the problem. Is like, I think
the
it's
anime
a letdown
industry
because of what
have
they've done.
gone down a fucking. We're just not getting as many shows. Like, there's a lot of slog, and a lot of people still trying to do something that will revolutionize the genre, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but there has been an increase in reincarnation isekai fantasy shows, which has clogged up the fucking production train, thinking that this is still what people want,
I mean,
but they've never stepped foot outside their offices for one. Yeah. Just, I fucking hate it. Like, we're missing out on so many good fucking shows because fucking production companies still think that there is a market for isekai shows in 2024. I'm sorry, there are only 3 isekai shows that are even worth bothering with this season.
Konosuba,
and like the third one is pushing it. Yeah, Tsukimichi. Third one is pushing it, alright? Konosuba, I'm only putting it there because honestly, I didn't want to put anything else.
it has fans somewhere.
Yeah, because of the fans, yeah. It's clogging it up. Alright. Anyway, speaking of isekai,
Well, I was gonna say,
segue.
on the topic of isekai, we might as well dive in with some isekai. Which one do you want to go for?
Jump right into it. Yeah, so this show, watched it recently, thought it was pretty alright.
You've been watching Konosuba, have you?
Yeah. I was actually going to talk about
might.
slime. Slime is actually pretty good. This recent episode, I actually did not mind it. I think the action was a bit who's more overpowered, or like the humans thinking that they're overpowered, but they just don't know that they're versing Himothy.
Good old
Yeah.
Himothy.
That's basically what happened this episode. Then we had like the most fucking basic fucking backstory for Hinata. What the fuck, man? I say basic, but it's like not even that basic.
I would.
No, I do. You know, I did actually get some really good context. She has the same system as Rimuru. So when he got transported, we had that voice stuff, like saying like all this shit and stuff. I don't know what the fuck she's called.
Raphael,
but she has the same thing. No, it's Raphael now, but whatever it was before. Yeah, she also has her, which I think was really cool. Like, it was a bit subtle. It was really subtle, and I was just like, oh, so do they just all have
which,
it?
to be fair, let's just agree on this. How the fuck did they sussily fucking tell us that Hinata, when entering this world, was bestowed her gifts the same way that Rimuru was? However, they couldn't subtly fucking tell us that he was a demon lord for 6 episodes. They had to just slap us in the face with that. Why?
Wait, who?
This show, in a general, alright? Like, let's be real here, right? We had to be reminded that Rimuru is demon lord now. And that has been slapped around our face 10 times, but we can subtly let you know that the way that anyone from, like, his world comes here, they all actually get their power system the same way.
Yeah, slime has subtlety, but we're also told that Rimuru is a demon lord.
I saw this as a discussion, and like I have been upsetting people on my anime list this week in discussion on slime, because obviously this episode pretty much kind of like closes off an arc of the story, and I saw someone being like, oh, could I watch it? I'm a bit of a binger. And I just replied being like, yeah, but you could skip episode 1 to 5 and get all the recap inside of episode 6 realistically. So don't worry yourself too much. Fuck me. I triggered a lot of people with a comment like that being flung out, and I fucking stand by it. Because...
Wait, where was this?
This is just on my anime list discussions that people post
up.
No. I just had to. I was like, I'm triggering a community today.
Why?
The funniest part was, after triggering the community, a load of fucking people came to my aid being like, no, just admit the pacing's fucking bad for these 5 episodes and get on with it. And I'm like, thank you. People who see reason... No. Just tell people you can fucking skip it. I'm here to incite... I'm here to incite riot, alright? Like, look, if you're a fan of slime, I just want to let you know. You can skip the first 5 episodes of season 3, and you wouldn't be any worse off.
You probably don't have to skip them. I'm just saying you could probably just watch it and not pay attention.
I mean...
I think that's reasonable. Personally.
That, or you could at least skip every other one, because I'm pretty sure every other one nearly fucking... summarizes the previous episode.
Anyway,
so,
I didn't mind this recent episode of Slime. I thought it was nice, but I feel like it's gonna die back down again.
Honestly, that was my biggest.
But
fear.
It was really funny at the end. Fucking vampire lady is just like killing Veldora basically like that. And then Rimuru just does like an exposition dump at the very end. It's just like, oh yes, the 2 nations worked each other out, and the Tempest Empire thing was recognized as a nation. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that? Why couldn't you just do that next episode?
To be fair though, this is the thing: is like to the fans who like really want to tell me that this is like such an incredible show at the moment. Like, do you not see issues with all of that kind of stuff? Like with exposition dumping, where it's like, so. I considered a table for like 6 episodes and almost repeat a lot of the same stuff. But like these actual points of progress, you don't feel like doing that through demonstration. Like
the reason why we talk so badly about this season is because we've said it constantly. All right, we've said it fucking constantly. We love the first 2 seasons, or technically 3 seasons, of Slime. There's some of the best storytelling, isekai, resurrection fucking shit that you'll ever fucking get ever. It's so good. The first episode, chef kiss. It's fucking brilliant. I really like the first episode. First season, fucking poggers. It's fucking poggers. Shit fucking develops. It goes along. It's so good. Season 2, fucking amazing. Part 2, also fucking amazing. Part 3 has 6 episodes of fucking random people sitting around at a table. Do you see the issue?
Yeah, like I think that's the thing. Like, a lot of people won't even hear us out to the point where we will at least say, like, the biggest issue is that we are fans of this show. And you have, like, the obsessive fans who hear that we don't like what's going on with the show at the moment because its pacing is off and it did everything right on the build-up to this. That it's like, but do you not... I don't want to hold the
reason
work
we
to a
say
higher
this
standard.
stuff. The reason we say this stuff is because we respect this show so much that we have to give it fair criticism. We're not just gonna say, "Oh yeah, season 3 is just really good." You know, like that first bit was a bit of a slog, but we got there in the end. That's what a normal person would say. All right, we're trying to keep it 100%. Okay, you know, small podcast. You know, we're trying to get our outlandish claims out there in the world. All right, this is very good strategy, by the way. Hugo's fucking tactician with this shit.
I'm good at inciting rage.
But it's just, I feel like we're being a bit tough on Slime. We're giving it a bit of a tough love, you know, like, because let's be honest, we're not gonna go back and rewatch season 3. Personally, I won't. But I've rewatched season 1 and 2 multiple times. I've rewatched season 1 probably 10 times. Like, I really, really fucking love the first season.
Yeah.
And this one is just, it's very poorly paced, and it's just, I really don't like the way that it was going for a bit. I really wanted a bit more of a build-up towards Hinata and Rimuru fighting, because I knew that the fight wasn't going to be like that serious. But I think having a nice build-up towards it, thinking that it's going to be like a fight to the death would be nice. But then it wasn't, and it's just, I don't know. It's very wasted potential right here. I still like Slime. But as I said, it's wasted potential.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to describe it. It's just a wasted potential. It's a show that could be so much better. It could do so much better right now, and it's such a shame to see it miss the mark, and by quite a margin.
Yeah, because the whole plot of the show is actually really fucking interesting. Basically, Rimuru wants to like form an alliance with this other nation, but then people intercept the message and tamper with it. And then other people go like, oh, you know, fucking the Rimuru of Tempest Nation or whatever, they don't like us. And then they just fucking incite a war. Like, they just fucking march it on in there and just start fighting and stuff. Which I think could be interesting. And I don't mind having political intrigue. I just want it to be done in less than 6 episodes.
Yeah, I think that's... I see people who say stuff like, oh no, these have been like some of my favourite episodes, and to them I just want to know how these still frames and just information dumping I probably won't get into that as much as you do. I think if people still enjoy these first 6 episodes, then that's perfectly fine. I feel like people that do want to be enveloped and learn about this world through that dialogue, you know, props to them. It's like their way of consuming media. That's fine. It's called an audiobook.
Like, but to us, we're probably more attuned to how Slime has been, where it has been a little bit more engaging with telling us the plot in different ways. Whereas I feel like they're being a bit lazy and just kind of expo dumping us.
It's the lack of show. There's just a lot to tell, and it's like you can tell me as much as you want in a fucking light novel, but this is anime. You can show me everything that you want now, and it will be fine. And the fact that you do it after doing all the info dumping, I think ruins it a bit as well, because you just have episodes where it's like, oh, let's give you all this information in an info dump, and then 2 episodes later it's like, and let's just remind you of this information the way that we probably could have just told you of it, because, you know, You don't need this to be
like,
spoon-fed to
but
you.
even like if they expo dumped in a conveying way would be better. Like, just them doing literally anything.
Yeah, because
Like,
he used to info dump in the first
just not
season.
sitting around a table.
He used to info dump weird shit in the first season all the fucking time. It's like the reason that you can understand he can build a nation is because he's like, well, I worked within the civil engineering and contracts.
But that's what I mean. They're expo dumping as they're building a nation. The shit that they're talking about is relevant to what they're doing. No one was doing fucking shit in the first 6 episodes. Everyone's just like fucking talking about what they want to do without people doing anything. And then Hinata took the initiative and just said, you know what, it's been 6 episodes. Someone's got to do something. I'm gonna do it.
So let me make this episode 1. Like, fucking let's go. Because we needed it.
But like, the reason why the shit was so interesting in season 1 is that the exposition that was being told to us was relevant to what was happening in the moment, and it was shown to us. It's just...
Now it's just told.
Yeah, I fucking ranted on too much about this. We've been doing this for like 20 minutes now. This isn't even fucking Mushoku Tensei yet, you know? Like, fucking...
I mean, to be fair though, I will say, if this fucking show goes back to the table, I hope it's not for much longer. I'm hoping that we're watching what happens when you take on 24 episodes and you really only need 12. So
if we go back to the table, I'm gonna call upon the table from John Wick, and I will fucking get him to fuck you guys up. I swear to God.
Oh, it'll be hard. It'll be hard to sit through. If they return to the table, I'm just gonna wait for the season to end and then binge it all.
Oh, yeah.
But
hell.
before we go on to Mushoku, you haven't watched it. Kaiju number 8.
I know.
And this episode, honestly,
I'm disappointed.
I was
in
watching
myself.
episode 9 and was a bit like, we're getting like a load of fighting and what's her name? Monama? Not Monama. Sorry, different show I'm on about there.
Miyamoto.
Like we get some like fighting. It was quite cool. I think like I was watching it and there's like this dual wielding scene and I was just there like, oh shit, looks like someone spilt some fucking solo leveling inside of my fucking Kaiju number 8 here, because it did just give me full on like Sun Shinwoo fucking boss raid kind of vibes. So but it was good. It was again like Kaiju number 8 honestly is a lot better than I think I expected it to be. I think like I kind of went to
I think that's one thing,
thinking probably going to be mid.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people just aren't doing. No one's watching this show. I straight up don't feel like people are watching this show.
I honestly think this season suffers from the fact that it is sandwiched between 2 really, I think, better looking seasons. And like, again, not to say that there aren't things worth watching. We have Mushoku Tensei and shit right now, which makes it fucking awesome. But I think just like you look at last season and this season and it feels like we're at a bit of a creative burnout, and because of it, people just aren't willing to watch what is coming out as much. I get the feeling thinking if it's coming out during the quieter period, it probably isn't that great. So, and fuck me, you'd be wrong. Kaiju number 8 is fucking awesome. It's so good.
I know. I've been meaning to fucking watch Kaiju for so long. And I was going to, but then just shit fucking spiraled and stuff, and I just didn't get time to.
Well, if you get a chance before
so
the next
good.
episode, you'll be in for a treat, because I think this next episode we're going into a big fight against like some monster kaiju thing, so it's going to be fucking awesome to watch. We're going to see murder.
Yeah, I really do want to watch it because it's so good. And when I heard about it, and I can't remember what it won, but I think it was either the best-selling manga for the year, or runner-up. It was one of those. And then ever since then, it's always been on my mind, about watching it, and I just never got the time to. But I really do want to watch it. It looks fucking awesome.
It is good show. People must watch. It has been. I think it's got like a nice balance in everything. It's got a good bit of comedy. It's got the action you want. It's got a interesting story. Good bit of world building. Like, I haven't watched an episode, I think, and then left thinking, oh shit, that wasn't that great a show, or like that wasn't that good an episode. Like, every episode has been consistently entertaining, even when like you haven't got cool fucking fights going on. Like, you're entertained by other aspects of it, and it is so much nicer to have a show that is consistent as opposed to one that's great for 5 episodes and then mid for 5 episodes.
Yeah, I will watch it. It will come along.
It'll come along eventually.
And I will do it. I'll fucking get around to it.
I mean, I'm taking it you haven't also watched My Hero.
Nah, I've I was gonna say I've dropped that shit, but I've just haven't bothered with it.
I want you to know that this recent episode of My Hero might have been my favorite episode of My Hero ever. And it's got no main character reason whatsoever. There is no connection to the main character in any real way, shape, or form, nor like the protagonist or the protagonist or the antagonist of this. Honestly, episode 9, we get a Monama episode, who is the kid who can copy quirks.
Oh, yeah.
We've pretty much been blessed with an episode about him, and it's good. Because his powers obviously are the power of, in my opinion, bullshit. He can do everything you can do, but he can, in theory, do it better. So we've got him, like, using multiple people's quirks to manipulate the battlefield. And, like, when he comes into... Because I don't think you're even really, like, prepared for him to be on the battlefield. He's always just been that annoying character from Class B that occasionally shows up for episode, and then like in this episode you get this like bit of an emotional talk kind of thing from him where he explains like the whole people always saying his quirk wasn't suited to become a hero really demoralized him and made him feel like shit, and like all he wants to do is be a hero, and like his teacher being like, don't worry, from this point onwards, buddy, like you are the main character on this stage. And it's him warping everyone in to battle, screaming, I'm pulling the strings now. And it is fucking hilarious that he's essentially had like a mental break of fucking like, he's got this psychotic smile on his face as he's warping people around, just yelling, I'm pulling the strings, I'm pulling the strings, I'm pulling... I don't think he says another word other than I'm pulling the strings, as he just starts fucking people off left, right and centre through the gates kind of thing. Then he gets pulled back and he has to go and use Erasure to help them fight Shigaraki. And it's one of those where it's like, then you've just got him sat staring at Shigaraki from a safe distance, just laughing, being like, hey, you don't like this, do you, villain? Ha ha ha. And it's just, he's such a fucking brilliant character with that arrogance. Like, I fucking loved him throughout the... Like, I was just there, like, I've rewatched this episode, like, 3 times because I just have enjoyed seeing Monama that much. Like, I have wanted an episode where Monama actually kind of gets to do something. Finally have it, and it is so fucking fun. Like, I accept he's not probably going to be around for more than another 2 episodes, but
he's probably gonna die.
to be honest, yeah, because their whole thing was apparently to have Izuku up against Shigaraki, and Izuku ain't there because shit went wrong, as it has to inside of the shonen. So, you know, I see many people dying in this situation, but like, we're at the good bit now. I'm kind of hoping that all these episodes going forward, we're just going to have pretty much constant fighting for how many episodes have we got left? Like, I think we got 12 more episodes, so...
What are we on now? 7?
9?
Oh, next episode 7. So, you got 21 episodes, so you got 13?
So, what I'm essentially...
14.
What I'm essentially wanting is I'm wanting maybe like 2 episodes at the end to be a summarization kind of battle ends in the second to last, like in the penultimate, and then maybe the last episode is more summarization of life after defeating Shigaraki-kun, because we're gonna defeat Shigaraki-kun. I can't imagine that Deku's going to be losing, unfortunately. Though if he does, now that would have me. That would be a 10 out of 10 this season, if just the end of it is that Deku and the rest of them fucking lose. Like,
that would
just
be
come
funny.
to like Deku trapped in a fucking cage or something, being like, or at least I thought I'd be the best hero in the world. But here I am again, quirkless.
Dude, such a good ending right there. That's fucking pinnacle.
It would be fucking incredible though, wouldn't it? After all of this, it's just like, yeah, no, but sometimes the ultimate evil actually can't be beaten. Peak anime. So, but I'd like, you know, like essentially 12 episodes of fighting, and then we just go, cool, let's call it quits here. The fighting now done, everything beaten, neatly bundled up little package, and then I'll just wait for my movie in August and see how many cash grabs they pump out after that. I mean, there's got to be a load of cash grabs going on, right?
I mean, I will get around to like watching all that My Hero stuff. It's just, it's very I don't know, like ever since I don't know, way back when, but like when I start watching a show and then I stop watching it, it's very hard for me to pick it back up again.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I had the same thing with My Hero. I probably will watch it. I just might. It would just take me a little bit to get back into it, because I watched those first 2 episodes, thought they were just really great, and then I just missed a week and it just spiraled.
Well, look on the bright side. Something that we know you've watched. Mushoku. What about Mushoku, though? Because you've at least watched that.
Hell yeah, you know I've watched that shit.
And what do we think of this latest episode?
Dude, I'm just gonna say it every single time. Fucking love Mushoku Tensei.
I think...
It's really...
I was going to say, I think this episode might have been the best episode ever for me. Solely for the start, where it's just like Rudy hugging Roxy.
Yeah, I knew you would really like that.
Yeah, the
really
whole
funny.
You don't remember, and just chundering, and I was like, fucking, there we go. That is the best way to start this, is like, just let's give him a new psychological break. And honestly, a little bit me was like, is this going to be like the whole next arc? That Roxy-kun did not remember him, and now he's got to go through erectile dysfunction too, like Labyrinth Boogaloo, because he's been fucking hit with the "Who the fuck are you" line from the woman he loves. So
it is really funny.
I think it was,
because when I was reading that, I was going like, oh, this shit's gonna be fucking hilarious.
it was so well done. Like, I think, because when we last spoke about it, obviously, I think it was like we were saying that it was one of those where you've got Roxy's just been given the thing she wants, like she's been saved by pretty young boy in Labyrinth right before she dies. And I think it was the fact that you start it off, he gives her a hug being like, it's Roxy. Does his weird little fucking... I did like it. We do get a bit of his like pervier essence with it when he like gives her a hug and just starts
Well, she was
him.
like the catalyst. She was the catalyst that started all that shit.
Yeah, well, you know, so I did like that we still get like a bit of the pervy Rudius. Like, it's not him grabbing her panties, or like when he was looking into her room after they get her out of the labyrinth. Like, he's no longer sneaking in to steal her underwear. He's just sneaking in to make sure she's okay. So it's like you have a more matured version of him doing less creepy shit to her, but he still has that fucking pervy little twing of like, nah, shit, gotta get that smell though, because I might not see her again for 14 more years. So, gotta huff it in whilst we can.
All right, man, you do what you do.
Well, what do you do when you see the girl?
But yeah,
love,
I fucking, yeah, I do the same thing. Right.
But to be fair, when they got out of the labyrinth, part of me was like, oh sweet. So we're already going back to Sylphie and shit now, aren't we? Completely forgot Zenith.
Yep,
yeah,
we're
no,
done.
honestly, saved Sylphie, forgot about
We
Zenith.
failed.
I forgot she was even in there. I was there like, oh no, we've gone to rescue waifu number 2, right? And it's like, no. We're here to rescue Mum. Waifu number 2 is just a bonus. So...
Yeah, she's fucking add-on DLC.
No, she's a second sword. Do you not pay attention to things, okay?
No. Oh, fuck.
Look, maybe
Whatever.
we're a bit older.
But what the fuck is that supposed to be? Anyways, so we've got 3 more episodes left. Next episode's parents.
We're losing Paul, but saving Zenith.
What are your expectations? Because to spoil it, I have reread this part.
And Paul dies. I have to assume he dies anyway, because I can't... You can't go and say in this episode, we'll talk about it when we get back to the end.
He does say very stereotypical stuff that would be if he dies.
So I'm like, I'm assuming Paul dies, because if he doesn't, then I'm confused.
I'm not gonna say it.
Well, it's that, or he's...
I don't want to spoil it.
That, or Rudy is about to become daddy to 2.
Well, there's just so much potential left of this final little bit, because I always say this. I just wish there was just more to consume of this. I really just wish there was more. Also, my fucking inkling is going to be right. Alright, so previous episode, this episode that we just watched, Magic Circle on the 6th floor, that's the one we watched.
Yeah.
Was the one previous to that Enter the Labyrinth?
No.
What was the one previous?
No. Wait, no. So this one here is... Yeah, it's Enter in the Labyrinth right before it. Because it ends on finding rocks.
Yeah, so Enter the Labyrinth is volume 13, episode 2, chapter 2. Magic Circle is 13-6, chapter 6. Parent is chapter 9.
So we're skipping a bit.
No. Well, this next part coming up is basically going to encompass these next 3 arcs. But if you've noticed, these arcs have been going in 3s and 4s. So the next episode, the one after this, is returning.
So he'll finally be going home.
So we will have a bit of an epilogue, which I'm really excited about. I'm assuming these episodes might take a little bit, because there's probably going to be a big boss fight or some shit. But I do really, really, really want a nice little wrap up to this season, because I think it deserves it, and it's always done a really good job of it.
I think my greatest bit of criticism, honestly, for this part of the season would just be that it feels a bit short in the ways of Zenith Retrieval and Labyrinth and all that. It probably could have been a bit more... They're a bit longer, I reckon.
I understand why, though, because he's never been in a labyrinth.
Yeah, but
because there's very he's sort of like partying with his dad and seeing the way such a like dangerous labyrinth is meant to be like explored. You explore basically a floor, find the exit, get to the exit, and then get out. Which I think, as a storytelling perspective, it's not great because when we're usually told about labyrinths, they just you just go all the way.
Yeah.
And get as far as you can. But they really want to be careful because they've been doing this shit for like a year and just have not succeeded.
I mean,
so like visually it's not that engaging, but if you think about it, it kind of makes sense.
No, I get that, but I think it's more of the fact that, what did we have? So we have 12 episodes total, and of them, 5 are spent back at the university, living life and shit, getting married and all that. And I have no qualm with that, but it's like, I feel you probably could have done that in, say, maybe 3 episodes, condensed it down a bit, sped up and cut some other bits, and in return could have extended our time doing labyrinth exploration. Like, we didn't have to find Roxy upon entering the labyrinth if we spent less time worrying about the slice of life aspect and put more time onto the adventuring aspect.
Yeah, when reading it, it felt a lot longer from when they found Roxy, whereas in the show they immediately enter, defeat a couple of monsters, and then find her. So there is a bit of a pacing issue, but I think that's just because of the restraints that they have. But also, this season started from volume 10, and we are going to finish before volume 14. So we're getting a really big chunk of 3 volumes in a season, which I think is really good.
And I mean, I've enjoyed
that.
this season. I think I'd say not as much as the previous 2.
I don't think it's my favorite,
but I think it
won't be my favorite.
The world building, and I think kind of just like life building.
This is more of the progressive stuff that I really like from Mushoku Tensei. Season 1 sold me on this series. Like, I will fucking die on the hill of like never wanting to give up Mushoku Tensei because it's such a really special show to me. It does so much with what little respect that it has, to be honest, because a lot of people do not like the show, but the people that do like it appreciate it for what it is, and I respect the fuck out of that. Season 1 is such a masterclass when it comes to anime. Beautifully animated, beautifully written. It's a really good package. As we've gone on, the seasons have dwindled a little bit, and it's actually been noticeable to me because that first season was such high quality, and then that second season came out and it was just like, oh,
yeah, there is a slight
whoopsie doodles,
but nothing. I don't think anything too
but
bad.
it doesn't ruin it. Yeah, I don't talk shit about it. I just notice it. That's all I'm saying.
I think like visual wise, it's more like in recent, or in like this season in particular, like compared to the first, you're talking like it's more the minute details that made it near cinematic quality have all kind of been left behind.
And I feel like with the success of the first season, Bind have kind of just rushed this along in some aspects because the first season and then part 2 are so good, and they came out very unison. So first season came out in January, part 2 came out in October. So you got 3 months, basically 3 months of Mushoku Tensei, 3-month break, and then you're back on Tensei, which I think is really good. And then 2 years later, we got season 2 in July, 3 months. And then it's a little bit longer. We start in April for this one.
Yeah, it was a bit of
But
a
we
wait.
also had a special in between seasons. So that was...
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I said, I think visually wise, still a fucking awesome anime. But it does feel a bit lackluster in... I think, to be fair, the point where I think it always looks most noticeable is like the bodyguardy fight, where you've seen how they've animated magic 1,000 times before, but in that bodyguardy fight in particular, it's like you're lacking those little bits of details to his attack and whatnot that made it that picturesque, fucking incredible to watch. Season 1.
Yeah, because that part 2, season 1 part 2 with Dragon, like the Dragon God or whatever the fuck his name is. That shit was fucking wild. Like that like visually was fucking spectacular. Like it was such a good way to end off that season.
Honestly, that fight deserves an award.
And then
like,
yeah, it's fucking insane. And then there's fights in these previous 2 seasons, and it just does not hit the same, and it really upsets me because sometimes I think that if we had like a little bit more extra time to polish this, you would get the same amount of like visual clarity as the first season. But people really wanted this as soon as possible, and there's a dip in quality, but there's just nothing much you can do about it.
And it's like we said, it's not an offensive dip. It's not like it's gone from being fucking
it's not the end of the
shit
world
in half a second. Like, I've seen some people post up things being like, oh, but there are fucking points where the background characters all look like shit, and this, that, and the other, or this doesn't look as good. And I'm like, you get the fuck over it. I'm like, there are many, many worse fucking animations. There's
certain scenes where it kind of just looks a bit iffy. Like, especially some like pivotal moments where the animation and like the way it's drawn is just kind of like like it kind of reminds me of Super in that way, where like some of the animation when it's like not an action scene or something, where it just goes a bit
even some action scenes in
that's
Super.
a whole nother fucking argument.
Even some action scenes inside of Super have like moments completely.
Yeah, that fucking Vegeta and Goku Black scene, do not even fucking get me started on that shit. Holy fuck. But yeah, some moments where I really wish the quality was a bit more consistent, but it's not, and then I get upset. But it's still such a good show. It is the best show this season, hands down. Hasn't changed.
It will be one of the best shows.
It is
this
what
year,
it is,
like by far. So you got to accept what you got to accept.
I want to. Yeah, let's. I don't think it will win Anime of the Year.
I don't think it'll win Anime of the Year, but
Best Fantasy, fingers crossed. But I think Free Rem will probably win.
Yeah, that motherfucker still left a hole in my life after all this time, so good chance.
It's still number 1 on Mao. It's still number 1 on Mao.
Which honestly is impressive.
Yeah, props to them. It's like a whole like 0.3 like rating higher, which is fucking incredible.
That's like being a 10 out of 10 compared to an 8 on Mal.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah, there's an argument between like Demon Slayer or Mushoku Tensei right now. You can even probably throw in Kaiju No. 8. But you just don't get the same consistency, not in terms of animation, but in terms of story. There's such good depth to this show that I think other productions and other series just take for granted. Just thinking, oh, we don't need that shit. You know, we just need characters and a setting and a plot. That's it. Done. Whereas there's just been so much thought into this series, and I fucking love it. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
My main thing that I'm looking forward to in these coming episodes is if there's going to be a confirmation for season 3. Because I know that there will be, but having it at the end of the show, especially for season 1, was so pivotal to me. Having that confirmation of just like, it's coming, we'll let you know when, within 2 years. That's all I need.
Yeah, you don't need a date.
I need more Tensei in 2 years. That's just all I want.
Nah.
Is that so much to ask for?
It. Like, if I don't get my cute little fucking picture at the end with a "we'll see you again soon," I might cry.
That's all I need. Well, because correct me if I'm wrong, but when part 2 finished, there was already a confirmation for season 2. That's all I need. I just need confirmation.
Yeah, I don't need fucking much else.
I don't need a date. I don't need a date. I don't care if it takes 5 years.
I don't need the decade.
Actually,
I just need to know that it's coming.
I don't actually. I prefer if it wasn't a decade or 5 years, but 3 is a realistic time frame.
Now look, after Blue Exorcist, I can accept 7.
Well, some people have more realistic standards.
I think 7 is realistic.
No, it's not. It is not. Anyway. Yeah. What else have you watched this season?
I don't think I've been watching anything else this week. I think that's everything I've watched.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, I think.
All right, let me quickly wrap up with Date Alive 5.
Go for
it. So basically, yeah, we just went back in time casually. I think I said that last episode, you know. Now we're on a date, you know. Nice. We're back to what the show was actually about, dating spirits and controlling their energy. Yes, that is the original plot to the show. That's basically all it was. Just a date. That was it.
So nothing too intriguing for this episode.
Well, that's just basically what happened. Also, new episodes coming out in 9 hours. 2 hours. Well, that's the thing. It's such a polar opposite to the previous episode. Previous episode, people were just dying. Then people came back to life and then they died again. And then Shido he fucking sent himself back in time and is now trying to just stop the whole thing. Like, what the fuck? This is a show about dating women. Like, and now we're just fucking sending people back in time.
Saving the world.
To stop the apocalypse.
Fuck, I need to.
What the fuck?
Honestly, man? I almost watched Date Alive just so this week I could relate to you on how you were feeling about it. But I was like,
I think you should watch it. It's the pinnacle. It is the pinnacle of harem anime.
Well then, there's only one thing I can do. I guess I'm gonna have to watch 5 seasons of Date Alive.
If you watch 5 seasons of Date Alive between next week,
GG easy.
I'll give you a medal.
GG easy.
I'll give you a medal.
Well, with that then.
Meanwhile, it takes me like 9 episodes to watch Kaiju No. 8.
Well, with that then, there's only one thing that can be said. Everyone, I gotta fucking go. I got a medal to goddamn win.
You gotta. I gotta head off, guys. I gotta get a head
Thanks
start.
for watching this week.
I actually want to find out really quickly.
Total runtime.
How long? I'm actually doing that right now. I'm not gonna bother with the specials. I just clicked on a special. Date Alive is actually a lot shorter than I thought it would be. So, season 1, 12 episodes. Season 2 is 10. That's 4. 3 is 12, 4 is 12, and then 5 is 12 as well.
So, 58 episodes, roughly 20 minutes a piece.
Yeah.
Call it 60 for simplicity.
I'm assuming that you're gonna watch the Kurumi OVAs.
Possibly. Most likely.
Because you will fucking simp over this girl. And if you don't, then there's something wrong with you. Casually.
I mean, what you're essentially saying is, inside of a week, can I watch about 21 hours worth of anime? What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, based on this discussion of romance animes that I've watched this week,
It's doable.
do you think I can't watch that much fucking?
You want to fucking bet?
I watched that in here. HoriMiya, Quintessential Quintuplets, and Love Is War. That was just that. That was Day Alive 5.
Yeah, you can
Honestly,
do it.
I was like, do we start counting every week I come in? Don't watch an episode of One Piece, but watch a load of other episodes. Figure out how much shit I've watched and see how many times over I could have watched One Piece.
You get an equivalent going.
Just like, how many times could he have watched One Piece instead of all the shit he decided to consume? Just my One Piece counter.
Real quick before you go.
Go for it.
So, for Marshall, the Divine Visionary Candidate exam, is that season 3?
2.
Or season 2?
2.
How prevalent is Sophia?
Sophia. Which one's Sophia?
The Knowledge Cane. Like, she's part of the Divine Visionary. And a member of the Forbidden Magical Text Administration of the Bureau of Magic. That's a fucking mouthful.
Sophia, I don't honestly know if she's even really been in it that much. I think she's only been in like 1 or 2 episodes in passing so far.
Fuck.
Why is this
I had a very very mature and real reason to watch the show, and you just ruined it.
She played my favorite voice actor.
She may be played by my favorite dubbed voice actress.
There
maybe.
You go, then. You gotta watch season 1 and 2 to understand her part in season 3.
Fuck.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, guys, that's the weekly Weeb podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
It has been a long one, but thank you for enjoying the love week.
Make sure you guys support the YouTube and Spotify, and share it around, give it a like, share it.
Look, if you don't want to listen to it, just put it on your fucking Alexa and walk out the house. Your dog would love this conversation.
Yeah.
Or your children.
Not mine. Mine would sleep through it. But yeah, make sure you share it, like it, and also, follow us on our own channels or whatever. I think it's only my channel. I think you have other shit going on.
I don't do fuck with mine. Mine is dead channel until I can be bothered to do something.
I don't do fuck all at all. I just didn't know what I was going to say.
I've written scripts. I haven't touched one of my fucking channels in ages. They'll come back eventually.
But yeah, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for so much. Wow, I'm tired.
Yeah. Woo!
Oh man.
Fucking 2 hours.